Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om, I bow to the Lord Vasudeva. Joy to you, friends. Krishna says in verse 47 of the second chapter of the Gita, action in this realm of vibration is a duty, but let not your ego crave the fruits of action. Be not attached to either action or inaction. I read one book, I think I said this fairly recently too, of somebody who says that, well, if you really want to get out of karma, according to the Gita, you have to do nothing, just wait and just let your karma expiate itself in time. The Gita says repeatedly you must act, but act in the right way, and above all, act with the right state of consciousness. And so right action in this world means understanding what your level, first of all, your level of evolution is. It would be perfectly right for a Vaishya type to, let me give you this example of Mahatma Gandhi deciding that he wants to become a millionaire, and a lazy person deciding he's going to get off his bed of rest and go out and become a millionaire. In the first case, everybody would feel that Gandhi had fallen. In the second place, everybody, even the saints, would say this was a good thing on the part of that lazy fellow. And so it depends on where you are in your own evolution. But for the highest kind of action is possible only for those who have reached the level to be able to benefit from that action. In fact, there are some people who ought not to meditate because they would only go off into sort of a subconscious dreamland and create hallucinations. Such people should go out and work in the garden, do things with their hands, work physically. And so again, there we see that it's necessary to take into account where a person is. But the attitude toward action is the most important thing of all. Not to be attached. And this is the key that Krishna is giving in the Bhagavad Gita. It's the key to the whole teaching of the Gita, in a sense. He says, act without desire for the fruits of action. Nishkam karma. Nish is no, kam, desire, karma, action. Action without desire for the fruits. Now, when you act, whatever it may be, you don't have to desire the fruits of it in the sense of people's praise, in the sense of getting rich, in the sense of doing anything. Do it, do whatever it is. If you're a Vaishya, if you're anything, if you have the intelligence, the discrimination to understand what's being said, then don't think in terms of personal gain, but say, God, I'm doing this for you. Whatever you do for God will bring you liberation in the end. And it is true that you may sin, you may make mistakes, and may do many wrong things. But again, if you say, I'm doing this for you, God, and you're doing it through me, you will find that bit by bit you'll become purified, to the point where you won't do things that are wrong. You'll find yourself more and more in tune with him. So by giving the fruits of your action to him, you find that it's a reciprocal thing. It's not as if you were solely on the giving end. He too gives. It's a reciprocal cycle. And whatever you do, whatever you give of yourself, he will give back to you. Whatever you give of your actions to him, you will find that he will purify your thoughts and desires to the point where you'll be able to understand that all that you do is really to please God. But the first thing is, don't desire the fruits of action. To get rid of the ego It's not even possible in the beginning. But if you say, all right, I'm working, but whether I succeed in my work or not, I have no control over that anyway, so why not just give it up to God? If you find that in your work you fail, this has happened many times in my life, in the lives of others that I have observed, that when they find that they are blocked on every front and everything seems to be preventing them, often that's a sign that God is saying, no, you're doing something wrong. Change your direction, change your activities, change the direction of your thoughts. And you will find, for example, when I was thrown out of SRF on my ear, it was a very hard experience for me because it was throwing me out of something to which I had absolutely dedicated my entire life. I didn't want anything for myself. I only wanted to serve God and Guru. And suddenly I was being prevented from doing that. But gradually the understanding came to me that it was good of me to try, but I would not be able to do what he himself had told me to do, continuing in that way. I would be constantly frustrated by superiors who didn't understand what I needed, didn't understand what I was doing, and so on. And so I came to understand that from that point on, my life changed for the better. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. But in the beginning, it was very hard because I remember saying to one disciple many years before, I'm trying not to be attached, but one thing I'm accepting attachment to is the organization that I belong to because I don't want any temptation to take me from it. Well, I was taught my lesson in that. I was forced to give up that attachment. I didn't want to, but God wanted me to because he wanted me to do another work that my own Guru had told me I must do and that I would not have been able to do had I not been on my own, writing books and so on. So anyway, you will find that when you have no desire for the fruits of your action, when you act in complete freedom, then God also will show you. He'll point the way. If something is not going the right way, he'll block you. And this he will do for you because of his love for you and yours for him, not because he's indifferent to you. I wondered for a while if my Guru had turned against me or something. It didn't seem possible. I said to him that even if you don't love me, I love you and you can't get away from me. But that was my own little game. I knew, certainly that I knew that he loved me, but it did seem a strange way to show his love. In time, I realized it was his grace that caused everything. When you act with desire without desire for the fruits of action, you will find your actions guided and wrong action or wrong directions blocked in order to push you in the right direction or in order to push you in the new direction that you should do for your continued progress. And I've seen this again and again. When you love God, offer your life to him and offer him the fruits of all your actions and say, it's not mine, Lord, it's yours. You will see that you will be able to do many, many good things in this world for yourself and for others. Joy to you.